Yo, what's going on with y'all? This your boy NeoXO, and today I'm gonna be talking about some Pokemon. Now, the Pokemon anime is actually one of the first anime that I have ever seen, mostly because it aired on Cartoon Network when I was a kid, and Pokemon pretty much made my childhood. So I first got introduced to Pokemon through the game, and I ended up becoming a huge fan. Now, that first Pokemon game that I had was Pokemon Fire Red, and that later led me to start watching the anime. I actually ended up being a really huge fan of Pokemon all the way up until the Sinnoh generation, and to be honest, I still am a pretty huge fan of Pokemon, just not as much as I used to be. I used to be like a very competitive battler, and I used to do all kind of stuff and just really have some good memories with a lot of my friends. Out of all the Pokemon anime generations, I definitely would have to say Generation 1 was my favorite. Now, I don't necessarily know if that's because of nostalgia or if that's just simply because it was objectively the best one, but I do know that Generation 1 of the anime was definitely my favorite. I just feel like they had such iconic moments. I remember this one episode, it went something along the lines like Ash was debating on whether he should evolve his Pikachu, and his Pikachu really didn't want to evolve. His Pikachu wanted to win a battle against Raichu based on his own strength, and he didn't want to use the Thunderstone in order to evolve, and I thought that was a really powerful moment. I feel like this show was aimed at a younger demographic, but it still has some really deep moments. Another one of my favorite moments was probably whenever Charmander got abandoned by its trainer, because the original trainer of Charmander thought he was weak, so he just pretty much released it, and he left it in the rain to pretty much die, because you know, if a Charmander's tail goes out, it dies. And Ash was a really good trainer, and Ash took care of Charmander, and he evolved him all the way up into a Charizard. And we had some moments where Ash and Charizard really didn't see eye to eye, but Charizard was such a powerhouse, and those moments really stuck with me all the way until this day. I can still recall them pretty clear. I really should do a rewatch of season 1 of Pokemon, because like, that's really my childhood. I'll probably get a kick out of all the nostalgia that I'll be feeling if I rewatched it. I also think that the rivalry between Ash and Gary was probably one of the best rivalries in all of Pokemon history. Ash did have some other good rivals like Paul. Paul was a very good rival. He was kind of mean, but he was very serious, and he knew what he wanted, and he was a very serious trainer. I could appreciate his character a lot looking back on his character from the anime, and also in the games too. I feel like his character was really good. Speaking more on the game side of things, my favorite game of the Pokemon series will probably have to be Pokemon Fire Red. I spent so much time on it. I still have 2 cartridges of Pokemon Fire Red. Yes, I have 2 cartridges of the original Pokemon Fire Red for the Game Boy. I had a blue Game Boy Advance, and I used to play Pokemon Fire Red, and I also played Emerald, Ruby. I played all of the ones on the Game Boy. Actually, I played pretty much all of the Pokemon games. I even played the newest one, Pokemon Sword and Shield. It was a pretty good game. I didn't play the DLC yet, but I probably will play that at some time in the future. Back to Pokemon Fire Red, it was just such a good game, man. The graphics, in my opinion, still hold up to this day, and I still remember picking Charmander, evolving him all the way into a Charizard. Then I went to the Elite Four, beat all the iconic Elite Four members. It was pretty cool. First, you had to face off against the Ice Elite Four member. Then you had to beat 2 more Elite Four members before you were facing off against Lance, and then eventually your rival. I named him Gary. You could pretty much name him whatever you wanted to, and that was the iconic battle. Like, out of all the Pokemon games, the battle versus your rival, Gary, at the end of Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green, that's just absolutely iconic. Out of every single Pokemon game that I have ever played, the final battle in Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green against Gary was absolutely by far my favorite to this day. It's so iconic. I really remember this to this day. Pokemon also had a card game, and while I didn't know how to actually play the card game, I did have fun collecting the cards and just picking up cool cards. To this day, I still will collect the card if I think it's pretty cool, even though I don't know how to play the game. I thought it was pretty cool being able to trade with your friends and stuff like that. I remember when I was younger, me and my friend used to always play Pokemon on our Game Boys, and we definitely played it all the way up into the DS. But for this story, it had to do with the Game Boys, and we were like so young that pretty much we were supposed to be asleep. but we would play our Game Boys and like the light was kind of bright. So when we would hear his mom coming in the room, we would hide under the covers and pretend like we were sleeping. I don't know if I'm the only one who had that memory. If you guys had it, be sure to leave it down in the comments. But I think all of the generations were pretty good. Like I said, Paul was a pretty good rival, and all of the characters were pretty much good characters as far as fun. A lot of people said that Ash and Serena should have actually probably gotten together, and hey, I'm all for it. I mean, Serena was a pretty good character in my opinion. I didn't really watch heavily. After Generation 4, I pretty much just casually watched it, but I heard that the latest season of Pokemon is actually pretty good, so I'll probably check that out. I definitely do still check out the movies because they're simple watches and they're self-contained stories. Other than that, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave me a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. It's been your boy NeoXO, and I'm out.